everyone, it's Mrs. P, and I am here to do our check-in for the first week of February. I would love to come on here and say that this has been a fantastic week and everything went exactly as planned, but unfortunately I can't do that. There were a few things. Now, we didn't do any like overspending like on stuff we didn't need or going out or anything like that. There was just some things that happened with the budget that was unexpected and just a little here and there, mistakes that I made. Anyway, we'll get into that. Before we do though, I want to just go and explain my hand. I have this ugly Band-Aid on. This is the waterproof Band-Aid. I wash my hands a lot at school, you know, germs. And so I have the waterproof Band-Aid, which I was really like it to be more skin color, but it's not. Yesterday when I was at school, I was walking, you know, around the classroom, and for whatever reason, I got too close to the bookshelf and like slammed my hand into the corner, and just a big gash came right out of the top of my hand. I don't have the prettiest hands anyway. I've always been kind of insecure about my hands. In fact, if I'm going to be completely honest, it's probably one of the reasons that I held back on doing videos like this for so long, because you just look at my hands and that's all you see of me. And I have got, my heritage is like Scotch-Irish. Both of my parents have had a lot of skin cancer, and so I was, you know, of course, blessed with the same skin that they have. So I've had a lot of spots that I've had to have removed from my hands, and just as I get older, the spots and things just seem to get worse. I'm pretty sure my dermatologist is going to have to treat my hands again. I use sunscreen. I try not, you know, of course, I do get in the sun. I can't say I don't. But I do try to use sunscreen, especially on my face and my hands, because those are the most sensitive areas of my body. But it's just the damage is done and it's there. So I just have to deal with it. Anyway, I just want to explain that. This is just a boo-boo. But anyway, I'm going to try to cover it just so that it doesn't stand out so bad, because you have to look at it and it's ugly. So anyway, all right. So let's get started with the budget. So first thing... well, let me zoom you in. Oh, wait, before I start. Somebody had a comment. The last video I did, I was using my calculator, and they said they noticed that it wasn't tapping on the table like it usually does. Well, that's because at school, you know, we have the cement block walls, and so I have found that this little putty stuff, it's like sticky, it's the best I can find to hold up like my anchor charts and things like that, because I don't know, the tape just dries out, falls off the walls, but this putty stuff works. So the other day I was coming home I was getting ready to leave school, and I'd used some of that putty. I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring some of that home and put it on my calculator. So I did, and so now, you know, it doesn't move, it just kind of sits there. And so if you missed the tapping, that's why. I put some stuff on there because some people may like that sound, but I don't know. That's one of my pet peeves, is like that tap, tap, tap noise, you know, pencil tapping, those sort of things. Anyway, so let's get into the budget. I'm going to move that out of the way. All right, so first things first. I did like a trial run through with our taxes. We've got our W-2s and things like that. And, kind of shocked. Last year we owed taxes, but it was only like maybe, I think it was around $300 to federal. And so we didn't make really any changes to our like withholdings. We finally got state figured out. We pretty much break even with state, but every time we would do, you know, our taxes, we'd call and have them take more out so that we don't owe at the end of the year. Well, it looks like we're going to owe quite a bit and federal taxes this year. And so my husband made some adjustments to his check, and boy, oh boy, did that make a difference in our income. So that's the first thing that kind of changed with or went wrong with our budget this week. All right, so Mr. P's check was not $1,000. It came in at $900 $25.59. You know, just when you think you shouldn't owe any more taxes, I feel like, you know, we lose a lot to our from our paychecks anyway, but goodness, you know, we're just in some weird tax bracket that we just have to pay a lot. And, you know, we just have my daughter at home now, so we only have one dependent, and I guess that's what it is. All right, so my check came in at $3,115. Oh, I'm so sorry. The dog's going to start barking. Millie, stop. All right, I'm so sorry. $3,115.82. Okay, and then that's my oldest son and my younger son, they paid their bills, so that was $320, so that came in as expected. And so our total income was less than what we thought, $4,361.41. All right, so now I'm going to get to our bills. All right, so mortgage did come out, $1,115. Progressive came out for $247.59. Microsoft, $18.18. Assurant, $14.92. Apple Storage. You guys, I have got this. I went back through my weekly budgets, and I've got this coming out twice a month, but I've already paid that. I paid that last week. I'm not really sure. So that did not come out, and I'm not sure. I've got to go and see. I think I've got that doubled up on our bill payments. All right, $42.79 came out for our car wash, and Life 360 came out at $8.55. So the only change here was actually a good change, is we didn't really owe for Apple Storage. So our bill total came in at $1,447.03. So that was less than what we expected, which is good. All right, so that left us with $2,914.36. No, 38 cents. Sorry, I looked at that and saw 38, but said 36. All right, month ahead. Let me bring this down. 2,914.38. Month ahead, I did pull 150. Sinking funds, I did pull 370. Nothing towards savings. All right, so that was the same, 520. And see here, that leaves us $2,394.38. Okay, now I'm going to move us up to our cash envelopes. All right, so I'm going to move that total up, $2,394.38. Groceries, I did pull 150. And I'm going to do like our weekly check-in and let you know what we spent on groceries, pets, household, and eating out. Okay, so pet supplies, 20. Household, 20. Mr. P got 20. I got 50. Miss P got 20. Sporting events got 20. Gas. Okay, here's one. Now, I only used $37.43 for my gas. But my husband put a little bit of gas another week where he put some gas in something. So I have to put gas for him also, which I did not budget for that, but it was $20. I think he filled up the gas cans. All right, so eating out, did not eat out. So we are doing good with our spending. And unbudgeted, we did have an unbudgeted expense. And I'm not sure exactly like to put this money, like, okay, so it's $23.10. And what it is my son who lives across the United States, he had left some like a pair of pants and a shirt at the house. Wasn't critical that he had them, but he also got some mail. He got his W-2s and insurance cards and something else that he needed to be sent to him because he's got to do his taxes and stuff. So I thought, well, while I'm mailing him those things, I might as well go ahead and send those pants and that shirt to him. Holy moly, I didn't know that it costs so much to ship stuff. In fact, I also bought not at this time, but I used my blow money to buy 2 stamps. And it was like almost $1.50 for 2 stamps. But anyway, so this is shipping costs just to ship one small little package. And so I put it in unbudgeted. I don't even know if that's something that I could put a sinking fund toward. I don't know. So maybe I'm just going to leave it like, because it doesn't happen very often that I have to send something. Now, I did send him and my other son like a Valentine's card, but that's, you know, I don't usually do that very often. So I don't think we need a sinking fund for it. But anyway, there it is. All right. So this section ends up being $380.53. So it's over the budget by about $30. All right. So now we are left with $2,013.85, which is not too much different from what we had expected. I mean, you know, that's not too bad. But here's where things go wrong, okay? So we have $2,013.85. All right, the truck payment came out. Nothing wrong with that. This is where I messed up. All right, so my Wells Fargo, granted, this is a new card. I've only had it like a couple months. So my December payment I manually made, and I set up the auto payment for the next one. So I know it's due on the first day of the month. So I went on the app just to make sure, you know, sometimes you just make sure that everything's coming out like it's supposed to, because I wouldn't want to have like a late fee or anything like that. So I went on the app and I went to like pending payments. Nothing showed up. So all it showed was an auto payment was coming out in March, and I panicked. So I paid $70. Well, guess what? The auto payment was taken out. It just didn't show up on the app. It didn't show as a pending transaction or anything. So I accidentally paid this twice. Not the first time I've done this before. I guess it could be worse. I could have not paid it at all and had a fee or something, but it takes $70 away from the snowball because this is not the card we're working on. So it just kind of frustrated me that happened, but you know. Anyway, so $20 for Citibank. Xbox came out as it's supposed to at $38.41. Here's another one, Ortho. Okay, so Ortho, this is the braces for my daughter. And when we got those, it's been like a year and a half maybe since she had those. You pay a deposit and then you set up this payment plan, which is no interest or anything. It's just, you know, makes it convenient for families to be able to afford braces for their kids. So I've had this payment come out on the first day of the month ever since we had, you know, the braces put on. Well, all of a sudden, on February 1st, my payment came out as $148. And so I was like, wait a minute, that's $60 difference. And I was like, did they go up? Is there, I couldn't, you know, I didn't know. So, of course, I call them and I ask, you know, what is the extra fee for? Well, the last time my daughter went in December, which was before Christmas, apparently she had to have a bracket replaced. Nobody said anything to me. I had no idea. Of course, she's 13. You know, she goes back there, she opens her mouth, they do the stuff, and she has no idea what they're doing. But when I called, they said, oh, yeah, she had to have her bracket replaced, and that's not covered under the regular plan. So there was a $60 extra fee for that. And I was like, wow, that would have been nice to know. Thank goodness I have the money in there. I have a buffer. But if I wasn't, you know, prepared with a buffer, that could have really been, you know, painful. Especially I paid $70 extra here, $60 extra there. That's $130. So nothing is going to the snowball. So we have less income and extra bills that we paid. And so our total debt section is $816.41. So our remaining to roll over is $1,197.44. which I calculated that today, and that's about a $200 difference. It hurts. It's not going to mess us up. We're still going to be able to afford everything. It's just going to mean less to the snowball, I think, at the end of the month, unless, you know, some extra income comes in somewhere. But that just goes to show that things happen. I know I was just watching one of my favorite channels to watch is Miss Summer's Budgets, and her name is Stephanie. If you don't follow her, go watch her channel because she's great. But her husband has been sick and he was in the hospital, and so, you know, he's not going to have the same pay. You know, just little things like that. It just reminds you of how important it is to do a budget, know how much money you have, know how much money's going out, so that when these little emergencies or little things happen that throw your budget off, it's not a crisis. It's just, you know, okay, you know, we've got to make some changes and adapt and move forward. But, you know, it used to be, my husband and I have not always been secure financially. You know, we literally used to live paycheck to paycheck. In fact, I remember times where we were trying to like beat the check to the bank. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, but where you're like, you write a check for something you don't have the money and the funds to cover, and you just hope that the income comes in before the check goes through. And that's a terrible way to live, because you're constantly in fear of overdraft fees and things like that. Fortunately, we're not there now, but it just shows you that little things that pop up that you're not expecting can really make a difference in your budget. So with that said, we're going to be rolling over $1,197 for the next week. I'm not sure. I had planned for $1,000 for my husband's check, but if we're going to have more taxes come out like this each week, then I'm going to have to probably make some adjustments and maybe expect less than $1,000 for him. I guess I'll see tomorrow when his check hits the bank exactly. He got a little bit more hours last week, and just see how the taxes, you know, mess with that. So now that we've done this, I'm going to go ahead and flip over, because somebody was curious about my spending, you know, for like groceries and things. And so I went ahead and wrote this, so it's all pre-filled out. But, so this is, I'm going to just keep up with this for the whole month of February. So I'm just going to look. So at Walmart, we spent $138 on groceries. We did that pretty much the first or second day that I cashed stuff. And then I went back today, actually, just to the dollar store. My daughter is out of apple juice. She's like hung up on apple juice, and so I stopped at the dollar store and picked up a container of apple juice. And so I always round up and I keep the change in my wallet. So that was $4. So a total this week of $142, which, you know, not bad. I budgeted $150, so we don't have a whole lot of leftover. But, you know, after going from, you know, really cutting corners in January, there was a lot of not stocking up. There was a lot of treats that I bought last week. In fact, when my husband and my daughter were unloading and putting away the groceries, I heard my husband say to my daughter, "Hey, your mama bought a lot of good stuff this week." You know, just things that we hadn't bought all month long. I splurged, just little things, tater tots and brownie. I mean, just little things like that. All right, so then for the dogs and the cat, I ordered some spray, the odor spray. When they go outside now, they get, you know, groomed and bathed often, but they get body odor when they go outside. And so we found this stuff on Amazon that really works. You know, you just spray it on their coat, and it really cuts that odor down. And then Sam's Club, $49. I bought a box of bones and then some of those dental chew things for their breath. And then household, Walmart, $13. That was just cleaning supplies and deodorant, something like that. So it wasn't much on household, so $13. And we did not eat out. We probably will eat out this weekend. It's my brother's birthday, so we'll probably go with the family to celebrate that. So anyway, that is my check-in. Not the news that I really wanted to share. I really hope to say, you know, hey, we got all this extra money for the snowball, but, you know, life happens, and that's just one of those things that you just have to take and roll with. So anyway, that is that, and I will conclude this video by saying, I don't know, can you see them? Let's see here, let's zoom in. I can kind of see the shadow of the nickel right there. Ooh, make sure I don't stick my hand on the candle. Oh no, I put it out. Somebody said I should name him, or him. I don't know why I think it has a gender, but Nick for nickel, which was good because I was trying to think of a funny, clever name. In fact, I even looked up like the history of the nickel, and but I think Nick is a very appropriate name for the nickel. And I've had suggestions that I should, when this candle burns down, take the nickel out and put it in the new candle. And I don't know what we'll do when we finally get down there and can dig him out, but that's the nickel. That's the end of the video. And I appreciate you guys watching and commenting. Don't forget that I'm going to be doing my giveaway for the 700 subscribers this weekend, Saturday the 10th. If you are interested in entering that and you haven't watched my debt update video, that's the video you need to go back and watch. And you have to comment on that video so that you can find out how to enter the giveaway. I'm sorry, my brain just went mush. All right, so anyway, that is it, and I will see you back in the next video with my cash stuffing for the week. Thank you. Bye.